Okay, you are welcome to this training today. In today's live training, we'll be looking at how to adjust dimensions in Revit. And the Revit version we are using is Revit 2023. And the step we are taking here work with almost every version of Revit. The step is the same. Okay, now if you look at this dimension, if you can see my screen, if you look at this dimension, you see that something is not right. There are some things that are not right here. Number one, the size of the text is too big. And number two, the size of the thick, this is what we call thick, is too big. So we need to adjust it. And what if we want to change the color? What if we want to change the color of the dimension? So these are some of the things we'll be learning in this live training. First, let's change the color. To change the color, you click on the dimension and you might need to duplicate it. So you click edit type, and here you duplicate it. The reason you are duplicating it so that the original version will be there. So I click on duplicate, and here I can give it any name I want to give it. Let's say I give it Room Dim. That is the name I decide to give it. Room Dimension, that is Room Dim. You can have as many type of dimension as you want. Okay, once you have given it a name, you can now edit the parameters. Okay, now there are so many parameters here. The first one that is very paramount is this tick mark. This, if I click on this drop down, you see that we have some tick mark here. We have open. Let's say I select that open dot 1.5. and another important thing that we can also edit here is tick mark line width. That is the line width for the tick mark, and I believe you know what is tick mark. This is a tick mark I'm talking about. So the line width, what should be the line width? For me, I normally use 0.6. I normally use 6. So let me take it to 6. And the next one is this witness line control gap. Witness line control. If I take it to gap to element, you can also take it to fixed dimension line. Each of them have its own purpose. We'll see the difference later. Then another important one is the text size. Like I was saying, that the text size is too big, so I can reduce it to just 2 mm. And another one that we can tamper with is the text font. Text font. Let's say I want to change the font from Arial to something else. let's look for something else. Okay, I want to change it to stylus BT. So I select stylus BT. And another thing you can see here is text background. If you leave it at opaque, that means wherever the dimension is going to block any other thing. Sometimes I leave it opaque, sometimes I leave it transparent. There are some occasions where transparent will work better. So if you discover that being transparent will work better for you, then you leave it at transparent. And if opaque is going to work better for you, you leave it at opaque. And these are the most important things that we need now. So I click OK, apply, and I click OK. Okay, you can see that okay, we need to adjust the color. Can you see that it has changed? So let me select it again. I go to edit type, and this time around I want to change the color, and this is where you can change the color. Right now is black now, so let me take it to something like blue, and let me make it dark blue, and click OK, click apply, click OK. Alright, okay, now let's change it from this dot to diagonal. So I click edit type, and I change the tick mark from open dot to something like diagonal. Let's look for diagonal 3 mm, and I click apply, click OK, and you can see that it has changed. The color has changed, and it is only this one that is not changing now, and that is because the name of this one is different. Can you see now that the name is different? That is why it does not respond to our changes. If you want it to be the same, you simply select it and you go to this property palette, you click on the drop down and look for the one you have just created. That is that room dim we have just created, and take it there and hit apply, and boom, it has changed. Okay, now let me change it from this dark blue to something else. Let me change it to something else, to another color. Let's say I want to use magenta. Click OK, click apply, click OK again, and you can see the color have changed. Okay, now there is something wrong, and that is the tick mark. The size is too much, so I want to reduce it. And if you select it, you click on it, you click edit type, and you go here, you will see that the only diagonal we have is 3 mm. There is no any other diagonal that is small that we can use, and there is no any other way we can bring a smaller one, and there is no adjustment. What we are going to do to reduce it is to create another one. So let me click OK now. Now if I want to create another tick mark that will be shorter than this, all I need to do is to go to Manage tab, and while on Manage tab, you see there are other things here, but where I will go is this additional settings, and on that drop down you go straight to arrows. Where is arrows? Okay, under these annotations you see arrowheads. On this type, you click on this drop down and you can see the diagonal that we were using before that was too big. Select that one and now duplicate that particular one. Let's say I give it another name to something like 1 mm and click OK. What I've just changed now is the name. Now let's see, change the size now. I change the size to 1 mm and click Apply. Click OK. Now you can see that it has not changed yet. It has not changed yet. Okay, to make it change now, select the same dimension and go to Edit Type, and on the tick mark you can see I'm not duplicating it again because I am adjusting the same dimension. I'm sure you get me. Okay, so I click on this diagonal, and right now you can now see diagonal 1 mm. That is the one we have just created and is here now. So I click Apply and I click OK. Can you see now that this one is more professional than the first one? This one look more professional than the initial one. This is how you can make your dimension look professional in Revit architecture. Okay, if I still want to adjust it, let's say I want to make it bigger a little bit, I want to increase the size of the tick, all I need to do is to go back to the Manage tab, additional settings, and arrowhead. I will select that same one, that is that's 1 degree mm. This is it here. Okay, from here I can create another one. Let's say I create diagonal 2 mm. 2 mm. Let me remove this 2 and click OK. And the size should be 2 mm and click Apply. Click OK, and it has not changed yet. To make it change, simply select the same dimension and click Edit Type. You will go to tick mark, click on the drop down. Now you see diagonal 2 mm has come now. So we can select that particular one, and I want to change the tick mark, the line width. Let's say I change the line width to something like 7, though I don't normally use 7, I normally use 6. Okay, you see now that it will be longer and bolder. Can you see that? Okay, now let me drag it out. Okay, I've dragged it out now. There's still something not interesting about this dimension. If assuming I am doing it outside, if I am doing it outside, it's not interesting. Can you see? It's not interesting because this line is too long. So to reduce it, you simply select that same dimension. Select the same dimension and click edit type. The reason I'm slowing down is so that some of you guys can get it. Otherwise, I can be faster than this. So you select it, and on this drop down, you look for witness line control. You can see my cursor now. So I change it to fixed to dimension line, and let's click apply and see the results. You can see now that the line has reduced. The line has reduced, though this look better, but it's still not good enough because the line is too short. So let's still select it again and edit type. That is this witness line length. What if we change it to something like 6.4? Let's apply and click OK. You can see now that this one is more professional than the first one. So if assuming I move it close to the building now, you see that this dimension is more professional. Can you see that? That is the difference between someone that have the command of Revit from someone that is a novice in Revit. Can see the dimension is clean. And if I want to change the dimension to something that is a little bit dark, that is a darker color, let me change it to, let me increase the thickness of the color and click OK. Click OK again. This look better. Let's say, though we are not dealing with door, but let me place door here. Let me place door here so that we can see some example. And this is our balcony. Assuming this is our balcony, and I type the text here. Let's see, I type toilet. Let's say I have a feeling there. I want to show you the example of that opaque and transparent that I was talking about that time. Let's say I have filling. Let me fill that place with something. Cross hash. Let me select another one. Diagonal. Okay. I just want to fill this space and show you the example of what I'm talking about. Let me finish this. All right. Now you can see now that the dimension is transparent. If I make it opaque now, you see now that it's going to cover the filling that is on the background, that is text background. I change it to opaque now and click apply. Click OK. Okay, now can you see now that it has overridden the background, so that the dimension text is more prominent. Okay, so that is what that text background can do in your dimensioning. And I believe you have learned something from this training tonight. Let me see if anybody have any question concerning this dimension. Please, if you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section and I will attend to it. If you have a question, you can drop it in the comment section so that I can attend to it. The question should be around this dimensioning. Does anybody have any question about this dimension we are talking about? I'd like to introduce to you what I title Revit Tutorial Masterclass. And this training is actually a paid course. And it takes you from beginning in Revit to being an expert. And like I have sent to you earlier, if you are in our group, I must have sent you a message what you are going to gain in this course. Currently, there is a promotion that is ongoing and it is about to expire now. So if you want to get it before it expires, then ensure you get it before it expires. Because once that promotion is over, the price is going to go back to the regular price, and which means the money you would have saved, you are not going to save it again. Okay, so ensure that you get it before the promo price expires. So let me know if you have question. If you have question, let me know.